Hey everybody, hope you're doing well today. Today we're talking about team blending as applied to the drums in a worship context. Now when I say team blending, what I'm referring to primarily is how the drums relate to the other instruments in the band and the song. When you look at the structure of a song, oftentimes we have different segments of the song. If you were to look at a chord chart for a worship song that we use, you'll see that there's possibly an intro, and then we have verse 1, then a chorus, then verse 2, then a chorus again, or maybe a chorus 2 that's a little bit different than chorus 1. Then you might have an instrumental, then perhaps a bridge, and then back to the chorus, and then finishing with an outro. That's a pretty common structure. So every part of that song is a different segment. And the drums will probably have a different drum beat for each segment in the song, or if they're overlapping parts, like for verse 2, for example, instead of verse 1, they might be similar, but they might just change dynamically or just add a little new flavor to it. So it's important to realize how that impacts the band, because when we're changing the different components of a song for our part in our instrument, what happens is that changes everything else in a song. It's kind of that whole idea of a chain reaction. We want to make sure that what we're playing is in sync with everybody else, and that we're not causing a bad chain reaction down the line. Now, if you're playing a song that's already been written by an artist, the chances are they've recorded it, they thought through the parts really specifically, and they've already worked out how the instruments are going to blend together and how the drums are going to blend with the rest of the band. So if you stick to that structure, you're not really going to go wrong. That's a really helpful thing to remember, that you should remember your drum part, you should know how it goes, and you should try to stick to that above all else. Now, bands get to the point where you know your parts very well and you've played together as a band for a while. Now, if that's the case, you might consider trying some different stuff dynamically, or with your instrumentation, and mixing it up a bit, and you can probably come up with some really great stuff. But I would say that that's probably the exception and not the rule. It's really good to stick to how the artists have written the song, at least for a while, just to make sure you really get that down. They've written the parts a certain way for a certain reason, and they usually work really well if you stick to the parts. So just wanted to pass on that information to you all today. Just remember that team blending, first and foremost, is knowing your part and the different segments of a song, and knowing how that's going to change as the song goes on, and staying true to the theme of the song and staying true to your drum parts. And that will help the whole band to blend well. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. And next video, I'm going to unpack that a little bit more. What happens when the band gets off, or the leader takes it in a different direction that you're not used to in the recording of the song. What do you do then? So that's next video. And I hope you guys found this helpful, and we'll see you guys soon.